In every single meeting you sit in, every negotiation, every time you're trying to lead, there's a whole other conversation going on. It's a silent one, and it's often the one that really decides who wins and who loses. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that secret language.
Get this. Research has shown, time and time again, that up to 93% of a message's real meaning is nonverbal. Yeah, you heard that right. The vast majority of what you're actually communicating has almost nothing to do with the words you're saying.
So, let me just ask you, what if nearly all of your success at work hinged on a language you were never, ever taught in school? Because that's the reality we're talking about. And today, we're finally going to give you the playbook.
Okay, let's start at the very foundation, level 1 of our pyramid of mastery. This is all about the one thing you have total control over right now, your own signals. And we're starting with the most powerful tool in your arsenal, your eyes. Now, the fancy term for this is Oculesics. It's literally the science of how our eyes communicate. And honestly, getting a handle on this is completely non-negotiable if you want to be a top-tier professional.
So what's your gaze actually doing? Well, 3 huge things. First, it's like a traffic light for conversation. It tells people when to talk and when to listen. Second, it's how you project credibility and authority. And third, it's your own personal radar, letting you see how people are reacting in real time so you can adjust on the fly.
And here is the single most important technique you need to learn. It's called the business gaze. You're not staring into their soul. Instead, you focus your gaze on this little triangle area between their eyes and up to their forehead. It gives the impression of directness and confidence without being intimidating.
Look, this isn't a staring contest. The sweet spot is maintaining that business gaze for about 50 to 70% of the time you're talking. The trick is to break away naturally every 5 or 10 seconds, then confidently come right back. It's this rhythm that makes you look confident, not creepy or shifty.
But, and this is a big but, these rules are not universal. You have to be careful here. What looks confident in North America could be seen as super aggressive in parts of East Asia. What seems sincere in the Middle East might feel uncomfortable somewhere else. In a global world, context is everything. Seriously.
All right, let's climb up to level 2. Now that you have a handle on sending your own signals, it's time to learn how to read the ones other people are sending, especially the ones they can't control.
And we can actually do this thanks to the groundbreaking work of a guy named Dr. Paul Ekman. He proved that there are 7 core facial expressions that are totally hardwired into us as a species. They mean the same thing in every single culture on the planet.
First up, happiness. A fake smile is just the mouth, but a real, genuine smile, that's in the eyes. You see the lip corners pull up, sure, but the real tell is the crow's feet, those little wrinkles that crinkle up the corners of the eyes. That's the part people can't fake.
Next is sadness. And the dead giveaway here is all in the eyebrows. Look how the inner corners pull up and together. It creates this kind of triangle shape of skin right above the nose. That, paired with the downturned mouth, is the true face of disappointment.
Anger is all about one thing, tension. The brows drop and squeeze together. The eyelids get tight, and the gaze just becomes this hard, laser-focused stare. It's an unmistakable sign that someone feels a line has been crossed.
Fear is a little different. The eyebrows go up and pull together, yeah? But the upper eyelids also fly open, showing more of the whites of the eyes. The mouth usually opens a bit and the lips pull back. This is what someone looks like when the stakes feel dangerously high.
Now, surprise often gets confused with fear, but check out how much more relaxed it is. The eyebrows go up in a big arch, the eyes are wide open, and the jaw just drops. It's that quick, unguarded, whoa moment when you present some totally unexpected data.
Disgust is super easy to spot if you know where to look. The center of the face. The nose wrinkles up and the upper lip pulls. It's like our body is instinctively trying to shut out a bad smell. In business, it's a reaction to an idea that someone finds just plain wrong.
And finally, you need to burn this one into your brain. This is contempt. It's the only universal emotion that's asymmetrical. It's just a little smirk, a tightening and raising of one corner of the mouth. If you see this in a negotiation, it is a massive red flag. It means the person across from you feels superior and they think they've already won.
Okay, we've reached the top of the pyramid. This is where it all comes together, combining your self-mastery with your newfound ability to read others, all within the tricky social landscape of the modern workplace.
Every single workplace runs on what are called display rules. They're the unspoken agreements about which emotions are okay to show, when to show them, and how intensely. We're all expected to play by these rules, even if no one ever writes them down.
And following those rules, well, that's work. It's what sociologists call emotional labor. It is the actual effort it takes to manage what you're really feeling on the inside to show what you're supposed to be feeling on the outside. Let's look at 2 ways this happens all the time.
First, there's masking. We've all done this. It's when you feel a really strong emotion, but you have to put a different face on. Like when a client is furious about something that was totally their fault. Inside, you're screaming, but on the outside, your face is a mask of calm, professional neutrality. That's masking.
And then there's the opposite, simulation. This is when you show an emotion you don't feel at all. Your boss rolls out some terrible new policy and says, "Everyone's excited, right?" Inside, you and your whole team are dreading it, but on your face, a big, enthusiastic smile. That's simulation.
And that brings us to the most important point of this entire explainer. Being a master communicator isn't a one-way street. It's not enough to just project confidence and control your own face. You have to get just as good at reading the room and accurately decoding the real, fleeting feelings of everyone else.
So I'll just leave you with this question. Now that you know what to look for, what silent messages, what hidden conversations are you finally going to hear in your very next meeting tomorrow?